inclusion is obviously an issue that you work in and around and with every day. What does that buzzword mean to you?
Just to give a statistic, in Kenya, financial inclusion is reported at 80%. When you remove mobile money, it drops to 23%. So you can basically see what mobile money does for financial inclusion in Kenya. So for me, financial inclusion is allowing the unbanked to basically access basic financial services, not necessarily a formal bank account, but be able to receive money or pay money via the mobile phone. So that tool in itself is fundamental, makes a fundamental difference to the lives of the unbanked population in terms of them being able to access basic financial services.
And what's the unbanked population like in Kenya? How many people don't have bank accounts?
About 40% of the country has bank accounts, so 60% don't have bank accounts.
Okay.
That means there are about 8 to 10 million bank accounts, unique bank accounts in the country. And yet in the mobile money space, we've got 21 million mobile phone users, of which 18 million are on the M-Pesa system. Yeah, so, and because of that, if you look at how M-Pesa has evolved in terms of driving financial inclusion, 43% of the GDP is flowing through M-Pesa. So you can see the impact that being on a mobile money platform and how it can help drive financial inclusion.
And how do you learn more about the needs of those kinds of consumers? The base of the pyramid consumers, perhaps rural farmers, for example, or women in small villages. How do you learn about what their daily financial lives are like and to help inform the products that your team creates?
I mean, that's an interesting question. The various ways in which we learn about it. Customers, there's a formal research, there's informal research. We get feedback from staff, we get feedback from the communities, we get feedback from the government. Okay. So there's it's coming from a lot of areas in terms of getting information, but it's what you do with that information that is important. How do you collate it, and how do you develop a product to suit different needs from different parts of the country.
How do you do that? Do you have an example of what you did with some of that information that then turned into a product that was a direct response to?
A good example is M-Shwari, which is a partnership with the Commercial Bank of Africa, which is the first truly virtual bank account, which you opt in via your mobile phone, get a formal bank account, and can be able to save and borrow from it. We realized that, and central bank actually put this statistic, there's over 200 billion Kenya shillings out there in the informal, in different forms of savings under the mattress. And that money is in an unsafe place. We've seen in Kenya where when a slum burns, people run. Not only are they trying to save the property, but the money that is in, that they have hidden either in the mattress, or underground, or in various forms. So what we're looking at with M-Shwari was to get that money into M-Shwari, to a formal system in which you could earn interest. It's in a safe place, and also additionally they could borrow when the need arises.
And how do you market products like that? I know M-Pesa is known throughout the world. It's known really well in Kenya. When you started M-Shwari, how did you teach customers about this new product offering that they might be interested in?
That's interesting, because this is the first time we're really marketing a banking product.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so for us it was also a learning process, because it's not only to train on how to use the product, but how to use the new menu, to educate on the importance of savings, the importance of credit. I mean, how do you get your credit? How do you improve your credit score? What's the interest that we pay? What's the least amount you can borrow? What's the most amount you can borrow? So there was a lot of information from a very simple product, and it's taken us. It's still, we've been with M-Shwari for 9 months. We've got about 4 million customers on it, but customer education is still, we're still investing heavily on it, because it's not a simple product to educate on.
And what are some of the methods you use? Is it mostly through the agent?
No, we use. We use a lot of different methods. We use the above the line, so we got the TV, the radios, and the vernacular stations. We go below the line, in which we do targeted groups. We got storms in the market days. We educate the market days. We use the informal women groups, in which we've got about 30,000 women groups across the country that we work with. And we educate them on the product, and they educate the other women on the product. So, but what you've realized, I'm sure, it's a one-on-one engagement. Because it's very personal about your credit and your savings and what your goals are. So it's actually more involving than the way we marketed or educated on M-Pesa. And what you've realized in Kenya is the woman is the heart of the house. She controls the house. So if you're able to get into women's groups and if they're able to understand it better, they're able to educate others on it. And just as an example, when M-Pesa started, 27% of those who opted in were women. Today, women are 51% of the population of the people who use M-Pesa. So you can see where they're playing on this role.
We talked earlier about how M-Pesa is kind of on this pedestal and it's worked so well in Kenya, but there's a lot of reasons that it doesn't necessarily replicate instantly to all of the surrounding neighboring countries. Are there any facets of it that you do think would replicate well, or some that you can see that this is the reason it doesn't replicate perfectly in Tanzania or Uganda or places in the region?
I think each market is unique. You can't take M-Pesa the way it is and go and put it in Afghanistan or in Tanzania directly. Every market is very unique, and the circumstances are very unique. Mm-hmm. Kenya had a very huge rule to urban migration. Mm-hmm. So there was always the need to send urban to rural money flow. Mm-hmm. So that need was already there. So the other thing is the regulator. The regulator allowed M-Pesa to start operating before the regulation was there. But now but they gave oversight over the service. And so we had a very progressive regulator who allowed mobile money or the innovation to precede regulation. And secondly was, of course, the management commitment. There was a lot of investment to get this right. Mm-hmm. So mobile money is not like any other product which you will just take and try it for 6 months and leave it. It's a commitment that you spend. M-Pesa started making money after 3 years. So the first 3 years was just investment.
So you're in it for the long run.
Yeah, so you need it for the long run. There's no quick win to make it a success. It takes a lot of effort and determination. Yeah.
In your department, you're in charge of developing the next innovative product. Is there anything that you're working on right now that you're also really excited about?
We've got a couple of projects in the pipeline. We're letting the cat out of the bag. No, but the most exciting was one that we've just launched recently, which is Lipa na M-Pesa. Basically, pay for your goods at merchant stores. Okay. Currently, we have over 30,000 merchants already on it, and this is just in 2 months. Visa, just give an example, Visa is about 18,000 merchants, so we've surpassed Visa in terms of the number of merchants, but now it's converting those merchants into, getting customers to pay for goods and services via M-Pesa into those accounts. But you can go anywhere. M-Pesa is more acceptable in Kenya than a Visa card or a MasterCard. Yeah, that's how big and how trustworthy Kenyans have taken on to M-Pesa.